It's time now for the news review of this bulletin. Burkina Faso has officially renounced a military pact with France, asking the former colonial ruler to withdraw troops from the country within 30 days. French authorities have already received a formal notice by the West African nation. The move comes just days after France lowered the flag on its military base near the Burkinabe capital, Ouagadougou. The African country has reportedly declared Russia as its new ally. This would make Burkina Faso the third former French colony in Africa to turn to Moscow for military help after Mali and the Central African Republic. France has maintained its military in Burkina Faso for over 6 decades. Paris signed a defense pact with Burkina Faso just a month after the country gained independence from France in 1961. Abiyomi Azikiwe, editor of the Pan-African Newswire, joins us from Detroit. Mustafa Traore, academic and political commentator, joins us from Paris. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Abiyomi, let me first start with you. When you take a look at the decision that Burkina Faso made, what is your assessment? I mean, France was there for all these decades, and did it achieve what it was meant to do in terms of its cooperation with Burkina Faso?
Obviously, it has not. And particularly over the last several years, with the advent of these Islamic insurgency groups, which has killed numerous people inside of Burkina Faso, and also they have caused the dislocation of millions of people inside this landlocked Sahel country. So no, they're looking for alternative advisors and alternative military support, security support to counter what they perceive to be the French either complicity or lack of effectiveness in dealing with the security situation inside the country. And I think it's very interesting that the French President, Emmanuel Macron, yesterday embarked upon a 4 African nation tour, trying to shore up relations with African states.
Why would it do that, Mustafa Traore, given the track record of France, which is not that favorable?
Yes, I think that what is happening here was very likely to happen. We understand that that France's army is in many countries in Africa, and we can't explain it. And there's no reason for that. If Burkina Faso is an independent country, and if it is fighting against the terrorists right now, where is the help of France? We can't understand that it is a very problematic situation the country is in right now, and France is there to support and to fight against and protect the country. So it does not make sense. So I think it is a very clear decision, a very good decision that was taken. And of course, we understand that Burkina Faso is trying to build a kind of confederation with Mali, so it does not make sense if Mali is totally trying to get totally independent and Burkina Faso has got still this pact. There are many things like this that are not fair, that we can't understand if these countries are independent countries. Another thing is the pen holder. How come France is the pen holder at the UN for many African countries?
And Abiyomi, what do you think about the fact that you go from France, this third country now, and you have maybe some options there, but you choose Russia? What message does that send?
Well, it's a repudiation of the United States, France, the entire European Union posture towards the Russian Federation. We've had the Russian special military operation in Ukraine over the last year, and that has aggravated tensions, not just in Eastern Europe and the European Union, but all over the world. We saw what happened at the G20 summit. They couldn't even issue a joint statement because the United States was demanding that the G20 be turned into an anti-Russia forum. So there needs to be some real serious consideration of the impact of U.S. and French policy towards the African continent, and it's impacting the top 20 economies in the world. So I believe that more and more people are beginning to look with a critical eye towards the U.S. and towards France in this regard.
Do you agree with that, Mustafa Traore?
Yes, I do agree, and we cannot compare the help that the Russians is providing to these countries like Mali, Burkina Faso at the moment, and the help that France was providing. France was not providing Burkina Faso, Mali with weapons, with armaments, with ammunition, so there was no point. This was the French trying to do the jobs or pretending to do the job, while the military men from Burkina Faso were getting killed. Like no longer than 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had 170 soldiers from Burkina Faso who were killed, and there was no line about it in the Western media. So what is happening? So they get killed while the French are there, supposedly to protect or to defend the country. What are they doing? So this is why, in fact, the people are asking themselves, are they the source of all the trouble they have now in Burkina Faso? That question has to be asked, and this is what is happening. So definitely we cannot compare the help of the United States, the help of France, and the help with Russia. Russia, of course, is defending its own interests, but at the same time, they're providing the army, the people of Burkina Faso with weapons, with ammunition, with lots of things, and more importantly, information, because they've got the satellites.
Thank you for that. Let me thank Abayomi Azikiwe, editor at the Pan-African Newswire, and also Mustafa Traore, their academic and political commentator. Thank you to you both. And with that, we come to an end for this edition of the News Review. Thanks for tuning in.